What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Payne. Welcome back to another Street Fighter Duel video. Alright guys, we promised you a DMC collab to show you whether these three units from DMC can work together in synergy or if they are just complete bust. And today to do that, I have my good friend EvoEazzy here with a count from his guild leader Prez, who is an absolute massive whale. So Evo, say what's up and let's get into this.
Hey man, thanks for having me and glad to be able to help everybody out.
Absolutely. Thank you for doing this. I know you and I have spent countless hours testing and doing all these other things, so I'm glad we're able to collaborate here on this because I wanted you to have some of this limelight. You deserve it. So first and foremost, let's get into his account before we go anywhere. Show us what Prez is. Give us a little bit of detail of who Prez is himself, what server he's on, and then let's jump into his account, and then let's go into Battle Royale, do some PvP with the three units, and then show off how they do in the catastrophic recast boss fights. So I'm going to let you go ahead and drive this, bro. Go ahead.
All right. So Prez, of course, like what Payne said, he's a mega whale. He's actually our leader for OZONE, which technically is for our Zone O, battle zone. And his account, as you can see, he basically has 6 cars, FS30 on basically everybody. And he has, I'm pretty sure he has SSS +2 on every account, every character too. And another thing that's pretty crazy is that he's basically maxed out on all of his EX move.
Absolutely wild. And I just want to say, and I said this last time, and just so everybody knows, this is actually our second recording. The first recording, OBS messed up. So we've kind of redone this, but I'm just as shocked as the first time. So I want to say again, thank you to Evo and Prez and whales like this who continue keeping the lights on in the game, because without you guys spending, obviously we would not be able to keep this game running. And I want to say this real quick about the spending thing. Obviously, you guys know I'm big on this. Evo, Prez, and all these guys who do spend this way are obviously able to spend it. They have the income to do so. They're spending responsibly. So this is why I have no gripe doing something like this. So again, Evo, and give my thanks to Prez as well. Thank you for doing that.
No problem.
All right, so let's go into the Battle Royale and let's see how they do in PvP. Now, we did this fight earlier in the first recording. He's actually server rank number 2 again. I don't know if you want to do it again to get rank number 1 for him, but if you want to do the replay, we can do that, or you can do a brand new fight. It's completely up to you.
I'll try a brand new one. If I lose, then I'll show the replay.
Sounds good. That's a good idea. So this we know takes 45 seconds, all right?
Yes, 47, give or take. Okay. So for my lineup for this one, ideally you would want to run Elena over Street Poison, just because of, I mean, you could run Elena or Summer Yang. I'll try Summer Yang in this one since my the replay has Elena in it. So ideally you would want to stun with Dante's Seat and Super, then use Summer Yang, then Nero, then finish it off with Vergil.
All right, let's run this and see how it goes. I'm pretty sure Summer Yang would actually fit this team really well because he does give damage bonus with anyone who has a shield. Plus, he's going to provide you with the effect accuracy for the freeze and the burn for Nero's C2, right? So I'm curious to see how well this goes.
Yeah, and just like what we talked about in the first recording, the reason why I like Elena more in this fight is because most likely they're gonna attack first, and if you have Elena built out, she gives that Hurricane Tower with her 6 car, I believe, which will help a lot in the beginning since they will use their super first.
Right, yeah, because we have a slow team here, and yeah, you're right. With the 6 cars, Elena has she does a Hurricane Tower right away, which gives you 8 seconds of, I believe, 60-something%. Actually, you might be first here, and this is a slow team too.
Ooh, let's see. Oh, I messed up. I don't know what I was thinking.
Sorry, we can do it again.
We should be good.
This team's actually giving you a hard time than the harder Bison Akuma Bizang team. That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I think this one, the power level is a lot higher too.
Oh, true. Yeah. That's a good point. And plus, I think having Abel's shield around kind of makes immunity a little tough.
Mm-hmm. Uh,
Well, I'm curious now with that freeze because it did work there. There you go.
Look
Now
at
I'm
that
seeing a lot of
damage.
damage. That's crazy damage. Holy.
And that was even before the damage increase. It was like right. Oh, I messed up the combo. It's okay. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to kill Abel and Elena.
They have the win though because I think you have way more HP anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. That's not bad actually. Like, so we know you messed up a few combos there, and that's
Yeah.
totally fine. You still got the win there. So we know this team in PvP works really well as long as you can mitigate the first combo, right?
Mm-hmm. Ooh, look at Vergil's damage in this one.
So can we show the damage difference? So this is the first. This is the fight you just saw. Can you go back to the last fight you won as well and show the team?
Yep.
There you go. Look at that. Look how evened out. Dante did more in this fight, and he actually ended up beating out, in my opinion, what would have been a harder team here with Gormagala, Ken, Bison, Akuma, and Summer Yang. But oddly enough, the other team gave you more trouble because, like you said, they have more power.
Yeah. Compared to this team.
So let's. So we can safely say here they work really well in PvP. So can you just do me a favor? Can you show where Prez is in terms of story mode? I know in the first recording we tried, and it's an absolute shit show because of how strong they are. So there he is, guys. 41-8.
Very.
Yeah, it's an absolute, like, it's crazy how hard this is. So we're not gonna bother showing this fight here because we're gonna actually jump into the boss fight. So if you can, Evil, just go ahead and show us the Quillifoth fight and how you set it up and how you're using these guys.
Okay, so the workbench, ideally for me, I would have tried maxing it out for 20s on each of them, but Prez wanted to even them out, so it looks like this right now. Let me actually level that up. So ideally, I tried to get as many crits as possible on my modifiers or the workbench, and then but then at the same time, I also want them to be good for my characters I'm gonna use. And so like agility, I use it because I use Dante in one of my team, and I believe is it Flame Chung Li should be agility, right? Or let me check. I believe one of them over here is agility. Oh no, she's not. Oh, it's Fashion Blanca's agility. So and then yeah, so and everything else is just yeah, you should know already why you'll use those. So as of right now, my highest damage is 2.1 billion damage, and let's see if I can beat that score. 1 second, let me just change everything. Oh, and so for you'll see why. For Evil Ryu, you know what? I'm just gonna try to go for the damage. We shall see. He's still gonna die anyways. And
All right, brother. Go ahead and start this matchup and let's see what goes on.
okay, starting.
No, you said Dante
So
does a lot of damage here, right?
yeah, Dante's the main damager. So I try to time everything. Evil Ryu will die pretty quick, but I try to make Bison take most of the damage. Like after this one, I will start.
What's the purpose of having Evil Ryu in this fight? Is it for the Satsunoiki
Just
damage
extra
buff?
damage. It's just the extra damage that he does,
Right.
and
Okay.
the damage buff too. I messed up. One more. Okay. So close to 1.3.
Yeah, close to 1 point. Yeah, 1.26, I think it was.
Here, let me just change these up real quick.
Now, we'll go back and check out the damage after this is done, obviously. But uh, why? So I guess if you put Dante in this team, he'd have no place here, right?
Yeah, correct. Because he wouldn't get to use anything since Vergil's the main damage dealer. So might as well split them up and let Dante do his own thing.
Right, right. Okay, good to know.
All right, starting now.
So why Akuma for Vergil? Do you want the fireball to come down? So they
Yeah, I have nobody else. I was thinking who else I could put in. Maybe I'll think of somebody else, but as of right now, I can't think of anybody else.
thinking of maybe putting in May or Cody for the extra 15% damage on duel.
Oh, that's true too. The only reason why Akuma too is because his is AoE. That's only another reason why.
Right, right.
Alright, he's transformed. He spell one more combo. Ooh, almost 1.1 almost 1.6. 1 point, yeah.
I'm gonna say so for that fight. Wouldn't it be better off to use Vergil's EX move for the last second to make him do another two combos?
Um, Technically, I would ideally use that for this group because I kind of learned a timing where I can technically use Vergil. Like I'll have like two or three super bars, give or take, at the end, where I'll just spam his super bar until he doesn't until the match is over.
Okay, gotcha. So it would be better off for
So
this team. Okay.
yeah, so because since he's the main damage dealer, anyways, it doesn't matter if anybody else stays alive as long as Virgil's alive.
Right, right. Yeah, and he's got his immortality for 4 seconds when he transforms. Okay, makes sense.
Let me. Yeah, this group is the one that kind of dies very pretty quick. So I'm still messing around with this group.
Is Prez's account number one on global for this cluster?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And then my easy account is number 2.
Nice, nice.
So I'm gonna start on this one. So ideally, I might start earlier just so I don't lose the beginning stacks of hers. But what I'm gonna start doing most likely is once I get 25 stacks, I'm gonna start using F Blanca because this match doesn't last that long. So might as well get as much damage as I can.
Still insane damage for how short this match is.
Yeah, but this isn't that great. Normally, I could hit like 1.6, 1.7 bill. Yeah, a lot lower.
Crazy. That's crazy.
So,
Yeah, let's take a look at the damage.
so Dante, and then let's see, Vergil, almost 1.2 billion alone,
Crazy
and
damage.
then Fashion Blanca.
So there you have it, guys. That is insane amount of damage from all three of them. Now, keeping in mind, of course, this is a massive whale account, but it kind of shows, though, if you do build up the three of them, they have a place in all content, PvP, PvE, and obviously bosses, especially AoE bosses in this one. So we know Dante wouldn't do well without an AoE boss, but because it's AoE, he obviously excels here. Now, in your opinion, Evo, because you've got a chance to test and you have some of these units, give us a breakdown of worst to best unit. Obviously, I think we all know who the best one is, but I wanted to have your take on it. And would you use Dante in the future after testing him here?
So of course, it will be in order: Vergil, Nero, and then Dante. Dante is very situational, just because, like you said, unless it's an AOE type of match, he won't be used in a single boss fight like Crusade. So of course, stages and towers, he can be useful just because there's multiple targets. In this event, he's excellent just because there's 3 targets. Technically, Dante wasn't as great against the jury just because there's only 2 of them. But besides that, I mean, clearly you can't build him up anymore now. But if you have him, he's still useful in certain areas in this game.
Yeah, and the reason why I bring it up is because there may be an opportunity or a time in the future where collabs return, and it's more just getting people to understand like, hey, should you be looking forward to him or not? And clearly, I think he's the only he and Nero are probably the only two you can probably bypass, but Vergil seems like a must for anyone who's looking for an AOE unit that can survive and do an insane amount of damage. Clear like and I don't know if you think this because I said this in my video about him that for people not to really stress over it because I feel like there will be a unit eventually like him in the Street Fighter world that'll be released. What's your thoughts on that? Do you think they're ever going to release someone like near Vergil again, or do you think he's like one of a kind of unit?
I believe honestly, if they do, it will be a very long time because they kind of made him almost like a Sagat and Bison, where he it's very hard for them to die. So you might get another character that just like you're gonna get half of him, where he might be able to survive a long time, or he'll do a lot of damage. But I don't think you'll get both of them. Hence why, for me, like I would try to build him if you can. Of course, don't spend if you can't. But if you can build him, I would build him as soon as you can before he's gone.
Yeah, I mean, just to look a little bit of trends before we finish out the video. So first off, thank you again. But the going back to the trend, what you just mentioned, if we look back where MH Ken came out, he was a unique unit. He still is one of the most unique units. But they kind of came out with the trigger unit 4 months later, right? Which was Evil Ryu. So that's 4 months to have a similar type of setup unit. With his own unique abilities, obviously. Now we have Sagat, who was kind of like a Bison before Vergil came out, where he was immortal for 3-4 times if he had his FS up. So that was 4 months later. So I'm assuming, like you mentioned, if it's going to be a while, we're probably waiting at least 4 months minimum to have something like this again, where it'll either be a collab unit that's similar or it's going to be a Street Fighter unit that's similar. So I agree with you. If you have Vergil, build him, but like you said, don't overdo it with your money spending because that's of course going to put your life in danger financially. So again, Evo, thank you, brother. I know you and I are going to talk a lot like we always do about any other new upcoming events. I appreciate your time, bro. It's so hard for two dads to get together to do content. So I spoke to your wife and I appreciate her loaning me your time, which is very valuable. So say thank you to Press for me as well, because I know this is not an easy thing to do, let someone share an account, but again, I'm thankful to you guys, to OZONE, and to the insane amount of damage you guys do and the support of the game. So again, brother, thank you for your time.
No problem.
All right, everybody. If you guys like this, put a comment, give a shout out to Evo, give a shout out to Prez. This is Payne. We'll talk to you guys in the next one. Take care.